It's not a fair question. It represents a million things. Forget my question. But Gvul Samta Layom. Before aeroplanes and ocean liners, this is good. You know what? Let me give you a 2-minute share on Lech. So we'll do a little Lech. Okay. Hagar has Yishmael, and Yishmael, she doesn't have him yet. She's pregnant with Yishmael. Vategal Gevir Beina, she loses respect for Sarah, and she treats her with disrespect, even though she's only married, because Sarah won't let her get married. And Sarah goes to Avram and says, deal with this, and Avram says, you can do whatever you want. And Sarah's tough on her, Vataneh Sarah, Vativrach Mipaneh, and she runs away. It's the first, she runs into the desert twice. Once after Yishmael, she gets thrown out, but this is before. This is before Yishmael's even born. She runs into the desert, and the Malach comes to her and says, Shuvi el Gevirta, this anu tachas yodeh. Go cope with this. Go back and deal with whatever Sarah gives you. You're expecting a kid, you're gonna have a baby, and he's gonna, v'hu yiyeh pera adam. He's gonna be a wild man. Yodai bakol v'yad kol boy. And what does Hagar say? She goes, really? Like, it's amazing. She's like happy, and she runs back, and she was like suicidal, and now she's like on top of the world. In what world is it a chizuk to a mother to tell her that her son is going to be a pera adam? It's a crazy chizuk, yeah? Who ye pera adam, and that's the chizuk. That's the chizuk that the Malach gives her. And I just think it's interesting because by Rachel Mavaka al Baneha, it says Yesh Schar L'Pulasech. What's the lashon? V'shavu vanim legvulam, and your kids will go back to their gvulim, their boundaries. That's also a weird thing to say from the other extreme. Like, you need to tell me that your kids are going to come home and go back to their land. So call it El Artsam, El Nachalosam, El Yerushasam. There's a lot of beautiful phrases to say your kids are going to come back. But the lashon gvulam sounds like a negative, like boundary, like limitations, right? So what's the vart? You don't hear it's a little negative way to say it. You want to say your kids are all going to come home, you know? V'shovavanam le'admasam, le'artsam, le'nachalasam, le'yerushasam. There's a beautiful, nice way to say it. Doesn't say anywhere else this lashon, right? L'gvulasam.
Who said it's about being home? Who said it's about being home?
What's it about? He said, no, they're going to come back from Gullus. Okay, but why are you calling where you're supposed to be Gvulam? I'm agreeing that's the right thing to say. Hashem said it, but why? I think it's the opposite of this Pera Adam thing. Like there's one way to see the world where all rules and all laws and all this stuff is too constricting. And then your dream is, I'm going to have a kid who's going to be Pera Adam, no kvulim, no boundaries, totally free. Freedom. And that's the chizuk to her. But to a yid, it's exactly the opposite. Is we like nothing better than kvulim. I want to be in my place. Like it's a big paradigm shift with the way we normally think of things. People think, especially in America, we think freedom is the ultimate gift. The highest value is freedom. You know, and boundaries are limitations. But on the other hand, boundaries, I have this mashal I always use, like when I grew up in the city, like these small little apartments, so we had, my brother and I shared a room, so we had a high riser. You pulled out every night, you pulled out the high riser and you pushed it back in the next morning, so we had room in the room. And we used to fight who gets to sleep. What's the problem with the high riser is the high riser bed just floats in the middle of the room. The main bed is against the wall. So we always used to fight who gets to sleep on the bed against the wall. We took turns, we had all these systems. So sometimes the musig of a wall is a limitation. It's stifling. It's like I hit the wall, like the dead end. But on the other hand, some people want to sleep by a wall because a wall is cozy. What's the difference between limiting and cozy? It's two totally different perspectives on boundaries, right? we used to buy clothing before Yontif. We would go to the Lower East Side once a year. We would buy a suit, and my mother would say this weirdest phrase in the world: "It fits too good. You have to get it a little bigger. It's too perfect." No, because you're not because it has to last you till Pesach. You got to grow. If it can't fit too perfect, it has to be a little too big in the beginning. So you want a suit that's not too perfect. But then there's a mustig of buying a custom-made suit that doesn't give you any room to move. Why is a custom-made suit not limiting? It's stifling. It's cozy. It's perfect. It's precise. It's amazing. There's two different ways to understand gevulim. Right? Gevulim are so what's the good side of gevulim? What does it mean? It means that you have. It's really the machlekes what Yaakov and Esav have. Esav says yesh li roiv. When Yaakov gives Esav all the gifts, he goes, "What do you give me all those gifts?" Yesh li roiv. I have extra. Harbe me shtei meser yelef. I have plenty. And Yaakov says yesh li koil. I have everything I need, whatever koil. What's the difference between, and that's the difference between Yaakov and Esav. Esav is called roiv and Yaakov is called koil. How you magder in your head the difference between roiv and koil? What's more?
Cool.
So on the one hand, koil sounds more. I have everything, but Yitzchak doesn't mean he has everything, because Esav has stuff.
It's mindset.
It's everything I need. I have whatever I need. I have everything I need.
It's like,
Good, but then Roiv is more. Roiv means I have doubles and triples. I have extra. So Roiv is really bigger than Koil.
Surplus.
So what? So why is Koil better than Roiv? Why is Esav Roiv and Yaakov Koil? Because Koil, there's nothing better than Koil. There's nothing better than a custom suit. When you get your first custom suit, it hasn't happened yet. But first, you get a flip. You get a not flip. It's called a fold phone, and then you get a custom suit. Then I'll get Ferragamos in. We'll see.
We never followed up.
What?
We never followed up on the designer clothing shoes.
Oh, we started it. Yeah. I don't know.
We asked you this in the summer.
Okay,
We'll do the summer.
so that was the show. It comes after folds and.
Okay, so we'll just
No.
a few weeks to follow up on it.
No. So what's the word? So what's the word of a custom suit? What's the word of koil as opposed to roiv? It's precise. It's definitive. I have a role. It's me. It's like an embracing of self. When there's extra, there's no, who are you? It's amazing to know your boundaries. It means you know who you are. There's nothing more shalom than koil, than perfection, than precision, than boundaries. The word cozy isn't even good enough to describe boundaries. They're amazing. Cozy means it's good to have, but it's more than cozy. It's, what's that word? Like, it's not exciting. But it's when you know exactly.
Snug.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what is the feeling of snug? Snug still sounds cozy. There's something
Complete.
but like
Safe.
that's a word with excitement, like animating you. It's like totally enthralling. It's what's the right word? Okay, I'm not having the words aren't coming to me.
Embraces.
Encompassing?
I don't know, whatever. There's a word. It's not, none of these other word I wanted, but there's a word. Whatever. It's very exciting. It's something extremely exciting. There's something extremely exciting about knowing who you, about having a role. It's whatever. It's okay. It's not. It's a combination of like the word definitive and exciting. It's It doesn't matter. But let me get back on track and put it together. What I wanted to say was that the Yam represents boundaries. Before ocean liners and aeroplanes, when you came to the ocean, that was as far as you could go. The Yam for all of history until modern times represented Gevul. Gevul Samta Layam. Right? It's the Svas Hayabasha. The Svas means what? The edge. There's no way you can go further. That's the end. This is where you end. People ended. Well, listen to the punchline. You Ramish and Dangerous?
I'm in a little bit of a rush, but the punchline's going to be 10 minutes.
No, I'm going to say it very fast and I'll say it in 10 minutes. Okay? The 30-second short version of it. Do you hear how the yam represents total limitation?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't go further. How do you go past the yam?
The boat.
There were not a boat. Boats couldn't make it. Ocean liners, modern inventions.
Airplane.
Airplanes. I'm saying before modern inventions, the yam was the metaphor for gvulim,
Edge of the world.
the edge of the world, and that's why Kriyas Yamsuf is the nes Hashem made. It's not a nes; it's the nes. If the yam represents limitation, so what are nisim? No limitation. So what is the best prototype of all nisim? You make a path into the yam. It's not a nes, it's the nes. See how it's the caricature of all miracles. Kriyas Yamsuf is the miracle. All miracles are Kriyas Yamsuf. It's creating a shvil, a path through the boundaries. That's what Kriyas Yamsuf is. So the point is the yam represents limitation. Because what? A lot of reasons. The ocean, the waves, the ocean, whales, sharks, and then the sharks get eaten by whales. The king of the limitation of the yam is the Levyasan. The Levyasan is the balabas of the yam. He's the master of the yam. So he is the king of Gvulim. That's what the Levyasan represents.
I'm going to get a suit that's exactly an inch too big now.
Well, no. Here the Levyasan, if the yam represents limitation, and the Levyasan is the king of all the kings in the yam, the Taninim Habdoilim, that's what the whole Furvyoin is. The whale's the biggest thing in the world. No, but even the whale has somebody who eats him, and that's Levyasan. So Levyasan is the king of limitation. And
the harpoon is the king of the Leviathan.
well, no. So now Sukkah. This is a Sukkah shmuz. Sukkah is Sukkah. I'm done. No, 15 seconds. Sukkah represents the opposite of gvulim, of limitation. It's travel. It's moving. It's transition. That's what Sukkah is, right? The Sukkah is the tool of change, of moving, of not being still. Right in the midbar, you travel with the Sukkah. The Sukkah. I'll do it more when you're not here. But the point is, Sukkah and Yam are opposites. One is Gvul, limitation, and one is openness and Ravchus, adventure, curiosity, expansiveness. To kill the Levyasan and make him into a Sukkah is the ultimate nitzachon. To turn the symbol of Gvul into a Sukkah himself, he becomes the Sukkah. That's tikkun. That's the ultimate tikkun. Okay. That's Kenayinga. Okay.
I love when you bring those things in.
What?
I love when you give that economy
I
always.
never knew Yaina was the Ninveh was Goyim and Yaina didn't want to do it because he didn't want to.
Yeah, that's a posh. That's all the Rishonim would say. The simple Rashi says that. The simple thing is he didn't want to make a kitrig. He